I was asked if I thought neurodivergent people existed before the Industrial Revolution. Are autistics like me too sensitive for this modern pace of life? Were we built for some golden village era of yesterday? I get that. My hypersensitive threat response has had me fantasizing about living a simple, back to basics life. I've done a lot of reaching into the past for ancient wisdoms. Plant and energy medicine, pottery and mosaic, organic farming, unschooling, forest craft, herbal teas and tinctures, permaculture. This sentiment is why I started my tiny farm and why we listen to audiobooks like My Side of the Mountain. My oldest said that he wants to live like Little House on the Prairie, but with Wi-Fi. And that pretty much does accurately describe our pandemic life right now. Do I think that this simpler life is better for us? Yes. Do I think that a simple life is better for all neurodivergent people? No, I don't. And I think that too much simplicity would actually understimulate some of my neurokin and cause problems for them. We're all different. Some of us are sensory avoidant, I am, and some of us are sensory seeking and really need a lot of novelty. I think if you look through history, it's pretty clear that neurodivergent people actually did exist before the Industrial Revolution. We see evidence of neurodivergent ancestors galore when we look back through history. Typical people cannot invent the first steam engine or break unbreakable codes. Leonardo da Vinci probably did not have an ordinary nervous system. Alexander the Great probably did not have an ordinary nervous system. Joan of Arc was trans. He or they perceived energies invisible to other people, and they had the power of presence to be a child military commander. That's not a regular person. Galileo was not going to tell a lie and dispute his research about space. That is super autistic, dude. History is changed by people with extraordinary nervous systems. We need to remember that even though we've existed in the past, we weren't necessarily treated better in all cultures than neurodivergent people are treated now. Many neurokin were killed or persecuted for their neurodivergent traits, just like they are today. I don't think that we all need to go back to the land, but I still might give it a try. If there's evidence of neurodivergence dating back to prehistory, do I think that the Industrial Revolution caused society to consider us disordered? Like, maybe. There is the social model of disability to consider. Some social situations, environments, and people do increase a person's sense of disability. So there may be things about modern life that are increasing our sense of disability. I believe that we have inherited our neurodivergent nervous systems from neurodivergent ancestors. And you can think back on things like ancient oracles and inventors. Yes, but you should also consider your recent family, divorces, dramas, cases of mental illness, runaways. You might see signs of neurodivergence in recent family history. I know that I do. If I look through the last century of family history down both sides, we've got disordered eating, suicide, institutionalization, depression, addiction, autoimmune disease. And that's neurodivergent shit. We also have valedictorians, engineers, doctors, carpenters, ER nurses, artists, comedians, and tons of missionaries and teachers. That's neurodivergent shit too. Neurodivergent people have always been here. And I don't think that our place is back in history in some golden age either. Think about all the tech that we have invented. There's an openly autistic gazillionaire trying to get to Mars right now. This is actually a pretty good time to be neurodivergent for a lot of people. Texting has changed my life. Online shopping, Zoom therapy, and apps like this one have made a really big difference in my life and the life of my neurokin. Our ability to connect and create and communicate is got a wider scope than it ever has before in human history. So I think there's great things about being able to access my neurodivergent peers and express my experience that wouldn't have been possible back in some golden age.